So this is our first stop in southern Utah, central part of the state. We are at Capitol Reef National Park. Welcome. So glad you're traveling with us, and I am here with three dear friends from our church. Guys, we are going to have an incredible week here in southern Utah. You ready?
Ready to go.
Let's go.
Oh, yeah.
Hope you enjoy the video. It's one of Utah's mighty five, located in the south central part of the state. This is what you want to experience on this hike. Capitol Reef National Park is often an overlooked wonderland of beauty, filled with rock cliffs, canyons, domes, and bridges.
The way that the light reflects off of it, it's like almost a mirror.
Join us as we explore 5 incredible stops at Capitol Reef over a span of 1.5 days. First, we'll take you to the Grand Wash, then we'll cruise the entire scenic drive. From there, we'll hike through Cohab Canyon, then we'll rent an ATV and journey to a remote section of the park to see the Temple of the Sun and Temple of the Moon monoliths, along with the impressive Glass Mountain. And finally, we'll enjoy a sunset at the majestic Goosenecks Overlook. You get an incredible view of the old historic town of Fruita. We also spent another day here hiking Sulphur Creek, which I'll present in the next video upload. And as you know, America's Parks likes to get some ice cream. Please subscribe and let's get started. So we're gonna do a pretty famous hike here at Capitol Reef. This is called the Grand Wash Trail. You can see we're gonna take it about 2 miles in, and then we'll come back. It's kind of like the Narrows in Zion National Park, yet minus the Virgin River, minus the water. If you want to go further, you can continue on, and that'll take you to Cassidy Arch. Went there a few years back. Maybe if we have the energy, we'll do that as well, but big day planned today. Let's get moving. The majority of the nearly 100-mile-long upthrust formation, called the Water Pocket Fold, a rocky spine, is preserved within this park. Good smelling flowers there, huh, brother?
Yeah, for sure.
That's what the good Lord gives us, isn't it?
Amen, for sure.
Different flowers, different sizes, shapes, colors, and scents. What incredible variety. And these do smell good. Probably hear the bees buzzing behind my head. I am not much of a botanist, but there's a whole bunch of these plants on the trail. And when you walk past them, when you find a cluster of them, the fragrance is absolutely amazing. And if you happen to come out here when those puppies are blooming, you're in for another treat on the Grand Wash Trail. Many often wonder how this park derived its unique name, Capitol Reef. The park was named for its whitish Navajo sandstone cliffs with dome formations, similar to the white domes often placed on the Capitol buildings. And the word reef refers to any rocky barrier to land travel, just like an ocean reef is a barrier to sea travel. So after you hike for about a mile on this wash, it narrows down, and this section technically is called the Narrows itself. This is what you want to experience on this hike, but look at this. That's amazing. Hey, how are you doing?
Good, how are you?
We're gonna drop our bags right here, grab a bite to eat. We're as far as we want to go. We made it to that narrow section. It opens up again about 2 miles in. If you continue on this trail for about another 1.5 miles, you can get to Cassidy Arch, which is an arch we did about 4 years ago, and I highly recommend that. But grab a bite to eat, then we're gonna turn around and head back. Got a lot more for you today on this epic day at Capitol Reef National Park. Of all the visitor centers in the national parks, this is one of my favorites. I love the way they use the natural stone color to blend in with the environment and even the architecture itself, where this visitor center doesn't stand out as a sore thumb. Really attractive. A highlight for many is the 7.9-mile scenic drive. It's a paved road suitable for all passenger vehicles. It begins near the visitor center. Cruise leisurely in your own motor vehicle through the heart of Capitol Reef National Park. Consider it a drivable trail that takes you past some of the most stunning and iconic geological features. A virtual tour is also available, highlighting 11 stops. The paved scenic road ends where the unpaved Capitol Gorge Road begins. Second trail for the day, not too far from the visitor center. It's 1.7 miles out and back, at least that's what we're doing. You knock out the elevation, And there's a lot of it at the very beginning. Then it levels off. And right now we're gonna drop into the canyon. Look at this. We are officially in the canyon right now. I hope you enjoy this footage. Let me give you a little video montage of us coming through. The area was originally named Wayne Wonderland in the 1920s by Ephraim Pechtold and Joseph Hickman. Capitol Reef National Park was designated as a national monument on August 2nd, 1937 by President Franklin D. Roosevelt to protect its unique landscape. However, it was not until 1950 that the area was officially open to the public. The park became more accessible in 1962 with the construction of State Route 24 through the Fremont River Canyon. So we're going to turn around right here. You can maybe see, you could probably hear the road behind me. That's Highway 24, the main drive that goes right through Capitol Reef National Park. But this was a great little hike through the canyon. If you come out here, highly recommended. So one of the special things about this hike is when you ascend that nasty initial 400 feet, you get an incredible view of the old historic town of Fruita. And what I also didn't realize is that at the end is Hickman Bridge. And you can check it out right here. We didn't make it that far, but we zoomed in on it so you could take a look at Hickman Bridge too. Great hike. All right, time to head down, get ourselves, what do you say, Jason?
Get some dinner.
Yeah, a bite to eat. Gentlemen, you ready for some food?
Oh yeah. Hard-earned day.
You deserve it. You worked hard today for it.
Yeah.
Great job, great job. Let's get some food, then we'll head back. Maybe catch the sunset before we call it a night.
Burger time. Time to chow down. Gotta fuel up for tomorrow.
That caught my eye. So we're at a restaurant called Slackers. This came recommended for us. It's in the town of Torrey, about 10 miles outside of Capitol Reef itself. Just gonna get some burgers. Man, I tell you, after you do some hiking, sometimes there's nothing better. That's some unhealthy food that I normally don't eat very often. But man, this is really gonna hit the spot today. Look at that, bacon cheeseburger. During part of one day, we rented an ATV in Hanksville and drove roughly 15 miles up a dirt road called Cathedral Valley. The junction is off Route 24. After driving past the beautiful Bentonite Hills, we reached a very remote region in the northeastern section of the national park. Well, we are deep in the desert right now. We took an ATV up to this point. This is the northern part now of Capitol Reef National Park. This is as far as the ATV can go. We're gonna leave it in the parking lot. Temple of the Sun, Temple of the Moon, and that unique glass mountain. As mentioned earlier, our desired destination was 3 rock formations entitled Temple of the Sun at 5,822 feet tall, Temple of the Moon, 5,665 feet tall, and as I'll describe very shortly, Glass Mountain. The monoliths were named by Charles Kelly, who was the first superintendent of Capitol Reef National Park. In the 1970s, President Lyndon B. Johnson expanded Capitol Reef to include Cathedral Valley. The Glass Mountain was totally unexpected for us. It resembled a fine piece of art standing 15 feet tall, alone in the desert. Look at this puppy. This is stop number 3. We're at Glass Mountain here. We're expecting something a lot larger. It's small, but it makes up for its lack of size and beauty. What a unique formation. Standing here all by itself in the middle of the national park. Nothing else like it anywhere around.
I think it's very similar to either polished steel or glass blocks, like just solid quartz. It's just amazing. The way that the light reflects off of it, it's like almost a mirror. There's even some places where you can see probably 6 inches deep into the rock.
It's not nearly as large as its neighboring monoliths, but it's a mound consisting of selenite, which are gypsum crystals. This is the only exposed selenite plug within the national park. And please remember that collecting anything within any of the national parks is prohibited. This is called the Goosenecks Overlook, and a lot of subscribers from America's Parks have recommended that I check this one out. Our final stop was a short hike to the Goosenecks Overlook. The trailhead is less than a mile on a dirt road from Highway 24. The 600-foot trail leads to a nice overlook of Sulphur Creek as it snakes its way through a rugged canyon below, some 800 feet down the canyon wall. Use caution due to the loose rocks and steep cliffs. Also at this location is Sunset Point and Panorama Point. All three of these locations are noted in the park brochure and are a prime place for viewing a sunset. Thanks so much for joining us today. If you haven't done so yet, please subscribe to America's Parks, and remember, here at America's Parks, there's always room for you on our next National Park Adventure.